Meme troll. They wrote some stuff on the frickin' TV. I have no idea why. Like I
I mean,
intended.
how dumb is somebody to change their fucking name to something video game related? Like, seriously, how sick are you? You know?
It's more along the lines of he doesn't have a single Zelda record, so I'm not gonna call him that. Period. Just for that reason too.
Right.
So,
So you let me know when you want to start,
I
and
mean,
then
I could just start right now because it is
okay.
storming and I want to try to rush this through. By the way, have you
Okay.
seen Tipster's interview with RTM?
I have, and RTM and I were actually interviewing earlier today. The only problem was, like I said, I kept cutting in and out,
Oh,
but
so you're trying to talk to him. That's what I assumed when it said RTM and
it was a
RT.
great interview, but it just didn't go through. But we'll do it again. It doesn't matter. It's not like, it's not my first rodeo, you know?
No. So I guess I'll just jump right into the questions. Now, normally whenever I do an interview of somebody, and I've interviewed everybody that you've seen in that server group, like individually, just like
Yeah.
I'm doing right now. Like I'd call them
Well,
up, I'd sit here, talk to them for an hour.
I mean, not for nothing. McAvoy doesn't contribute to gaming. He's a joke. I'm gonna try to keep this as professional as possible, even though I should go further. But I want to respect you because you went out of your way to interview me. But McAvoy's a joke. He doesn't play video games. He's there to not contribute and cause trouble. And he's basically doing it up in the bathrooms with Jace. And I don't mean sexually, but well, we never know. But it has to do with money. He gave Jace a lot of money. I know for a fact, and he's protected. And that's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't know the circumstances there. Out of curiosity, before I begin the interview, have you been able to view the Contra 3 dispute regarding Isaiah's score?
I have. As a matter of fact, while I was replying to it, I was watching it. Yeah, I was like, holy shit. I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it just makes me, you know what? It hurts me more than anything just to know how many fucking cheaters there are and how hard I worked over the years to be who I am. And now, as far as I'm concerned, that title is valid more than ever.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just jump right into the interview here. I have one
Yeah.
question before. I just want to ask before we get into asking more about your past experience with Twin Galaxies, not just someone claiming corruption on the inside, but as a gamer adjudicating, so I could better understand where records stand. As I myself used to own about a third of the NES library before I sold it like 3 years ago. I had
I hear you.
a lot of fun about that stuff. I love my NES collection. I just switched to N64. So this is going to be probably the hardest question that I was going to ask. Catherine Despira, whose name is notable for helping Apollo Legend with information to expose the corruption behind Todd and Billy, she wrote a WordPress article back in 2016 about you, and I'd like to be able to clear the air between the both of you. I mean, I don't choose sides, even if I trust a person. I don't take their word entirely. I take it as a
Fine.
grain of salt. So
I
my
get
question
it.
is this: I mean, this could be your chance to fix things if you really want to do that. Um, what actually happened between you and Catherine for you to target her?
Well, I never really targeted her per se. The problem with Catherine was she was always on both sides, and Catherine was a liar. She pretended that she cared, and then you found out later she didn't care, and she would, it would be like talking to four or five different people. If you look at the history of the articles I wrote about her and reports about her, you would be talking to her 1 minute on the phone or on Skype or whatever on Facebook, and then she would turn to another person. And you could tell her liberalism right away because she would jump and get offended by any little thing you say that she didn't agree with. And she also was a very lazy person. And what I mean by that is she would tell you and promise you she was going to help you with certain things and then not come through. And I got sick of it. I got sick of her being fake and telling me if I talk to this person or do this or do that, she won't be my friend and that she'll destroy me and all this stuff. I got tired of it. So I started attacking her. It took a long time before I started attacking her. I don't
Yeah,
regret attacking her, and I don't regret anything I said about her. It's all true. Now, there were some good things about Kat at one time. The problem was she got involved with all the same losers that are still involved with the scene, and that's the problem. People like Richie got involved with all these losers and still has involvement with these bums, and that's why I got no respect for Richie. That's why I tell Richie like it is. I don't care if Richie won some Timbuktu PlayStation 4 tournament against a bunch of nobodies. Give me a break.
now, me and Princeton, when we were trying to find out more information on some of Isaiah's records, or Square Johns, if you want to call him that,
Yeah,
because even
Square
even
Jobs.
even RTM didn't want to call him that name, so I'm happy he didn't do that because I was actually listening to Tipster's interview on Twitch live in my bed, and when he didn't say his name, he didn't want to call him that, I fell out of my bed and I hit the floor laughing.
Dude, he's not worthy of that name. I've
I
called
know.
Isaiah right to his face. Listen, I was in LA, okay, where there was a lot of, bad activity going on, always does. And he was out there, and I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to get me to go outside, so in case if we fought, he could, have other thugs get involved with the situation and other like himself. Make a long story short, I told him, no, we're not going to go outside. We're going to fight right here. You're going to take off your fake rubber power glove and you're going to hit me right here. And I swear to God, somebody took a picture, I'm sure. I crossed my arms. I said, go for it. Hit me. He was like, no, let's go outside. I'm like, no, we're not going to go outside. We're going to do it right here. And the fucking bag I dropped was a book bag full of tapes. I got tired of his bullshit because when I asked him to stand up and do things that were right, I told him if I ever see him, we'll have a problem. He friggin' approached me at E3. And that's when I dropped that bag down, and he wouldn't fight me. And I told him, I said, listen, I said, you're a problem. Because he came up to me, he's like, I don't give a shit about you. I don't give a shit about the gamer. All I care about is a paycheck for me and my family. And you know it's true what I'm saying, because you see how he is. You see what he's done. So you can't make that shit up.
I've tried to look into his personality as a, having a minor in psychology. I read into him immediately. It's kind of screwed up that he accused Princeton of being a pedophile, and then, it's really hard to admit that kind of an accusation live on stream, which is what he did.
I've accused of it for making a comment about somebody I didn't know their age. Just give me a fucking break.
I know. It's really hard to do. Well, like I said, I hope the two of you can try to patch things up. I mean, not Isaiah, I mean you and Catherine. I don't really know if there's any...
What is the interest of me and her patching it up, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I mean, just in general, for, like, if you ever want to get back into TG, I know you don't want to, though, but at one point or another, I mean, you still respect it to the point where you want to interview people that are involved with it, so I just feel like it would be more progressive. It would be of interest to you, at the very least. I don't know. But that's just my take.
I'm just not understanding how, because she's not even involved. I
mean, everybody at one point is involved in TG that are just commenting.
That's true. What's your name, by the way? You never gave me your name.
It's Maris. That is my online name. Isaiah has given out my full name and broke the privacy policy with YouTube, which my attorney said that I can sue him on that.
So you won't even give me your first name?
My first name, my real name.
Okay, fine.
But I would prefer to be called Maris on stream, but I don't really mind.
Maris, that's fine. You just call me Console Player of the Century.
Anyway, let's see here. What do I have? So my next question is actually about Jace Hall. I'm neutral when it comes to him at the very moment.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, in my video when I did Empire Arcadia cheating ? He actually said it was a great video. I'm like, oh, thank you. So I was like, okay, he watched my video. I feel a little fuzzy on the inside, whatever. I said, but, like, what is your opinion on how he is running TG, and what do you think he needs to do to improve the database?
Well, he misled a lot of people. He's biased, and he's also corrupted and colluded, and let me explain. Protecting people like DataSuck, because DataSuck gets on his hands and knees and gives him whatever he wants, including money for a right-to-game campaign that did nothing for us gamers but put a little bit of money in Jace's pocket. All to get protection and have, power in TG, where the guy doesn't even play video games or nothing. Jace is running it like an idiot, and so is David. When I got banned for stupidity that, DataSuck caused by following me around on the forums and harassing me every day, and it's out there, it's proven. I've got 50, 60 screenshots of it. I'm not Kat or Patrick making this up. And then I say one comment, which was true, about his mother. I get banned and he gets nothing. I'm tired of that bullshit, And I found out about the money and I found out about everything, and then he threatened people on Facebook that he was going to get me banned if I talked any more about the money he gave Jace. And then, of course, the dumb people that are in the gaming community, the big majority of them, obviously, because as you can see, people see the cheating going on and they still trust these fucking people. So you know how dumb they are.
I don't trust half the people that are in TG. At least higher up. Like, when I went on, I didn't trust David Hawksett because I just had this gut feeling.
Yeah, Jace, because David Hawksett told me things were going to be different, and they weren't. Jace fucking promised so many things to gamers and promised to help with everything and said he had the ability to get connections and everything else. We didn't have one fucking thing positive go down in TG. The only thing that's been positive was, open verification. But the problem with that is that's also biased. And now people are trying to get rid of scores, even ones that are legit like mine, all because they don't like me. So, Jace is running it like a true garbage asylum and is allowing people that have no merit in gaming to be on there and destroy the site. And it's just getting more and more fucked up every day. Jace doesn't care. He put a little money into it to use it as a hobby and buy the name. Just like you see in movies. Oh, I don't care about the damn business. It's just the name I want. That's all he wanted was the name. Because look what he's doing now. He's concentrating on modern gaming and helping other people, not the original people that put TG where it is. Where do you think it would be if I wasn't involved? It has nothing even to do with my scores. My controversy and my big mouth made TG what it is today by opening the eyes.
By putting yourself out there and opening the doors for them.
Yeah.
As a gamer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just you either. Like, people, I don't want to go over the name just yet because that's going to spoil my next question. So.
Well, I meant not just my gaming itself. My gaming was a big part of it because I did things that nobody else has done, and that's one of the biggest things of my retirement that can never be taken away from me. My crazy projections and saying I'm going to do something and go out and do it in a certain amount of time or date or hour. But what made TG so big was my controversy more than any other gamer because of the fact that everybody wanted to hear what I would say next, like Howard Stern. It didn't matter if it was good or bad. They would come show up just to see what asshole Rudy had to say. And I don't mind saying that about myself.
I'd call myself an asshole too if I had a lot of records or if I was like this special guy. Believe me, I do it in my own group. Not a whole lot of people understand this though, but Meme Troll's actually a group of black hat internet hacker trolls / social justice warriors. And when Square Johns came to attack me, he did not know a thing about my group. So he was at a huge disadvantage, just to clarify that in the event that he wants to come and watch this video. And I've already told him, look, you're banned from my channel because I don't want to read the level of stupidity because it's just toxic to read. Like, I have better things I could do.
Well, the thing is, too, he talks about we're all racist, talking shit about him and his piece of shit friends and everything else. But does he forget that they're just as racist? They bash the president. They bash other people. Their whole group is basically black. I mean, who are they to say who's racist? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Because we call them thugs. And, well, when you live off the system and you all live in one fucking apartment, you are thugs. And
yeah. So these next questions are going to be about how much the policies of Twin Galaxies changed over time. As with the interview with RTM and Tipster, he went over a few points of the incarnations of TG and how the policies were just suddenly put into place, not even by Walter at the time, and that just confuses me. I mean, can you describe what the policies that were made, which ones made no sense, and which ones were probably abused, and if so, could you give a few examples of these policies?
Well, I think a little bit of all the above policies were abused, and let me explain that in detail. You got to remember, there's been favoritism since day one. Obviously, Billy, Todd, Isaiah, anybody that, basically gets on their knees, so to speak, gets protected. So every policy, Maris, has been abused, from verification methods to referees being, bribed or begged to do something, and then, of course, rules enforced for certain gamers and not others. The worst thing was when Patrick Scott Patterson was a referee, and he changed not just rules on games that I played, but changed the rules so other people could try to beat my scores or make it so I could never get the score back. It all failed in the end, but the crazy thing is all these people that I beat back or tied have never surfaced to this day. Nobody knows who they are.
Do you know of any other policies?
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. Recently, in the last 10 years, the policy of harassment and, justice and everything else has been totally abused because one person can go around harassing somebody all day and not get a single fucking slap on the wrist, and then one person like me can say one word that somebody doesn't like, and I get banned for 6 months.
Yeah, what I don't
So,
understand is why Isaiah was allowed to get away with threatening my life, and I believe he was also suggested swatting me. Um, I don't understand why he's not permanently banned just for that alone.
oh, I'll tell you why, and I'm going to say it straight up, and I don't care if Jace doesn't like it or not,
All right,
because Jace claims to be half black, which he's not. I think he's Middle Eastern and white, and he's afraid to admit it. Make a
Mediterranean.
long story, whatever he is, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, and rightfully so. I think the problem is with Jace though is he likes to protect people of color over other people. So in other words, Isaiah's getting special treatment because he's one of his homies, and it's the same thing any other way around. If you know, when I was
Actually,
in,
to correct that,
yeah.
Jace doesn't like Isaiah. I don't know if you know that.
If he doesn't like Isaiah, then why is he not taking him?
Well,
Was he afraid of
because
being sued because he's black?
exactly, I guess maybe he's said in the past to I'm not gonna say their name, but let's just say you and I both know this person. He has said directly, word for word, from his own mouth in person, I don't like. I'm just gonna quote Zelda reference. Just avoid him.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, word for word is what he said. So I don't know how much of that is true, but I know the source is absolutely reliable because we both know the person I'm quoting here,
Right, right, right.
and
Well,
they wanted to stay anonymous.
like I said, one thing I've learned over the years, and I'm telling you this from personal perspective, and of course in the gaming industry, when it comes to a protected class, everybody tries to say, "Oh, it's a white man's world," but the truth is, to protect the it's the other way around. The minorities are the ones that get the special treatment, and the regular Americans don't get the same treatment. And I don't care. I just want to make it clear, I don't care, but don't ever try to tell me it's different. Like I'm so sick of hearing about white privilege. Hell no. If it was white privilege, you know, nobody would be, none of us would be out of work. I'm not out of work at this time. I'm doing well. But my point is,
I'm white and I
I,
don't feel privileged.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
That's my point. That's my point. I don't, I don't want no privilege. I want to just do what's right and get what I earn.
yeah.
But all these other people, and I'm not talking about all minorities. I'm just talking about a partial part of them. And this is what they make. They make the good ones look bad. They think everything should be handed to them and they should get all the money, all this, all that, and free events. And you know who I'm talking about, okay? And thinks they don't have to pay it back and think there's something special and they have to be in the Hall of Fame. God only knows what took place behind closed doors to get all these things that these people have gotten. But I can guarantee you this, being a former actor in Hollywood and seeing the light after the president got elected, thank God, I'm so glad that I'm out of that fucking scene because Hollywood is so dirty, just like gaming. It's not even funny, and I'm not willing to get on my hands and knees to do anything to get ahead. I don't care if I gotta starve to death. I'd rather work a regular job, like every normal person does, and work my ass off
Same here.
to make a buck than to do something dirty under the table.
And be known for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, at any point in time, did you disagree with David Hawksett? And if so, could you explain some of the major disagreements?
Yeah, I contacted him on Skype many times in the past and told him that nothing ever happens to him, but only stuff happens to me. And he's like, "Oh, we can't do anything about outside of TG." That was a fucking lie because the comment I made about his stupid mother, not David, but Dad suck. The comment was made about his mom on a third-party site on Facebook, which really can't even be proven that I wrote that damn comment. It was in a private message, and that was used against me because that flag posted it on Twin Galaxies. You might want to delete the other comment because I don't want this interview to get deleted, obviously.
Oh no,
But
I'm with my interviews. I'm okay if you swear or suggest racist quotes. Just try to
yeah,
keep the racism to just don't flat out say the N word on recording.
well, no, I would never. I'm not racist. I'm going by what I see.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my best friends is Hispanic. I've got mixed race in my family, and no, I'm not just using that as an excuse.
I've
If I was
interviewed
really,
people who grew up in the 40s who were quoting racist
yeah,
things that I've never even known were racist until
yeah,
a week
yeah.
later, until I looked them up. I'm like, oh, that's racist. Oh, I can't put that online.
Even saying the M word doesn't make you racist. I mean, as you can see, black people use it on a daily, hourly, secondly basis,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous. It's just hypocritical. But yeah, that's what bothers me the most. That David Hawks took no action on his third-party stuff he was doing to me. But as soon as something happened with my stuff, I was banned instantly. And when I talk about banned instantly, like, Jace and him were on the telephone at the same time. I was banned in less than a second as soon as that was posted. So it's all inside, and it's all inside, and it's bullshit.
Do you have any other disagreement or any other point other
Just,
than that one?
I think what's really disgusting is when I discussed the certificates. I said, you guys do nothing for the gamers as it is. Now you want a fucking $100 for a piece of paper to wipe my ass with? Just wait until I get my certificates in my hands from where they are. I had them in storage, and I'm going to be getting them. Just wait until you see what I do with those live on YouTube.
You're just going to take a dump on them or something?
No, I wouldn't do something disgusting like that. I'm going to do something very formal, though. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you think Tipsters was funny, just wait until you see what I do to them. No, I would never shit or piss on something. That's not going to be funny.
Yeah, that'd actually be disgusting.
But what I will do will be funny.
That just sounds really funny. That sounds interesting to watch.
Really funny.
Even though I don't want to be self-destructive, I do like freedom of speech, and that just sounds like it'd be a fun thing to hear out. So my next question was actually about the person that I wanted to talk about, was your thoughts on Tim Sherby. Do you think that the both of you and him as gamers should have been recognized more? And the reason I asked this was back in Tipster's interview with RTM. RTM said Sherby's name wasn't even on the list in the King of Kong video, and instead it was a used static image to hide him away. And a lot of people get ignored unless favoritism takes place, like you've said. Do you feel like, as gamers, both you and Tim and a few others out there, should they have the recognition?
Well, I know so.
Yeah.
Myself, Bill Bastable, Tim Derby. I mean, just think about Splatterhouse. It took me 4 fucking years to get a board. Now you got these assholes trying to say, oh, I cheated. Yeah, okay. I waited 4 years and spent over $1,000 and all this pain and suffering to get a record back on a fake board. Give me a fucking break. Like, how stupid can you be? I would have just got a fake board right off the bat and did it a long time ago if I was like that. I don't cheat. And I sure as hell would not have turned a camera on playing it if I was going to cheat. So, make a long story short, look what happened, though, with Papsmear and Splatterhussy. They tried to stop me from getting into that third wheel of everything. They took care of them and let them come to the Galloping Ghosts and play. And people bought up all the boards. Did you see how the boards went from $50 back in the early 2000s, and then now they're almost $1,200? That's because of me, because I started playing it, and the game became popular because of me. But, of course, they try to only leave the story. And you know what? Catherine's fucking guilty of it, and so is Patrick. They didn't put the right information, and they also lied about Splatterhussy, saying she was the first woman in 30 years to do a fucking arcade record. And then he's like, oh, I made a mistake. A fucking historian makes a mistake? A person who doesn't work and lives off his wife makes a mistake? Really? Lives off of social media 24/7 and made a mistake? He didn't make a mistake. He just did what he felt was best for him.
I mean, that could be... I mean, some journalists make mistakes, too.
And he's the champion now. 2 years and 3 days. 2 fucking years and 3 days unbeaten. And you could say, well, I've seen screenshots of higher scores. I want to see a fucking video.
Yeah, the thing with you is you have a majority of your records on recording, too.
Yep.
Do you still have every recording backed up on your own personal computer?
For the most part, there's only a few scores I don't have, and that would be before the TSAP system. But those scores are out there. I have some obviously in storage, and also those discs are in some asshole ref's hands. Most likely Patterson before he almost went to jail when Jace got them back. So my tapes and DVDs are clearly in somebody's hands. So it's not like, and plus that shit was verified.
Yeah, I do know that Patrick was legally threatened by Jace, and I have heard this from a few that are in that server.
He almost went to jail twice. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know about that.
Dude, he also cheated before he became a referee, using extra lives and extra energy doing things in games to cheat and trying to act like it was a mistake. I mean, look at
what game in question for that? Out of curiosity.
Ooh, what was one of them? I think he used extra lives, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know for sure because the archives are not in front of me, but I know he did it on a bunch of games. I'm pretty sure Apnea was one of them. which, remember, this is an asshole that did 738 scores and say he never cared about high scores. Yeah, he just did it to populate the scoreboard. So you spent hours and missed birthdays, and you could go look all this up. It's all over in the archives on TG. If you see, he's still fourth or sixth all time on posting, which is so pathetic. It just shows you how pathetic he really was. His whole life was based on Twin Galaxies because he had nothing else to do after he ruined his arcade business and ruined his life with wrestling. No joke, dude. He's still like fourth or sixth all time in posting. And keep in mind, he hasn't posted there in years. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Other people are not even catching him. He posted so much in a short period of time.
That's insane.
It is. No life. Just like on social media. Look at him on Facebook. 18 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I mean, I specifically went to him in my Empire Arcadia cheating video because I was told through Princeton and a few others that, hey, this person has more information that you're looking for. You should go to him. He'll know more. And that's when I contacted him, and that's when I tried to ask him for the information that I was looking for to see if he had actually had anything about Square Johns. And what I found that he was paying referees. Do you think that he should be permanently banned for admitting to that?
He should be permanently banned. All his credentials should be stripped. And I also think Nintendo should go after him for any endorsements he ever got for his lies of records that he never did. And obviously, he needs to be stripped from that dirty, filthy, ill Hall of Fame that's ran by Grace Snoke, Brian Cady, Billy Mitchell, Walter Day, and has none other than Isaiah, Todd, and Billy in it all at once. Gee, is that a coincidence? And they all have been found cheating, and they have no footage to prove any of their scores that they've been lying about. Gee, isn't that
especially the
coincidence?
Contra 3 record that we were going over?
Yeah, I want my score protected. Shut the fuck up and just show what you did. And then it's like, oh, I'm not
I knew
that
I was
good
gonna have
anymore.
fun interviewing you.
I'm not that good anymore. You're not that good anymore. You never were good to begin with. Give me a break. If you give me a game that I played 7 years ago, I guarantee you tonight I'll get it back.
Now,
No
I
problem.
can understand that with time, your reaction time just slightly dims as you get older. But he's 41, and I don't see, how old is Billy Mitchell right now? I don't know his exact age.
I don't know, but I just want to interrupt you really quick when you talk about reaction time. Well, then explain how I'm 39 and I actually got better with my reaction time, especially with Splatterhouse. When I did Splatterhouse 2 years ago, I was still getting back into shape. I'm in better shape now than I was when I did it. And I had to retrain my arm. I never used my left arm before. So can you imagine that? Trying to get your left arm to work on an arcade machine that you've never played in your life, never been an arcade player, and doing it at 37 years old? You know?
No, I'm just quoting because I feel like the whole reaction time defense that somebody could use, essentially, it wouldn't matter, but at the same time it sort of does, because if they're not playing the game, then they have no right to say anything because they're not practicing enough to develop their reaction time.
Okay. I'm going to tell you something about Isaiah. Okay, this motherfucker came to Twin Galaxies one night with a stupid Tetris record with a fucking, all it was a screenshot and a video of the screenshot itself. Okay, he's like, I've been confused thinking about the time of war. It's like he's acting like he cared about the United States while the motherfucker's living in Jamaica. So he's like, I'm just thinking about war and the time of the war. I totally forgot to record this, but as you can see, this is the screenshot. Get the fuck out of here. So we're supposed to trust your screenshot? And he's like, oh, and if you put this record in and get it into the book for me, I'll promote Twin Galaxies. Anything to suck a big rod to get anywhere in this world. I guarantee he'd get on his hands and knees and friggin' take the last line just to get a goddamn thing of a friggin' free Wii system. I'm sorry, man. I'm not afraid to say it. Doesn't mean he would do it, but I wouldn't put it past him.
I was told by Princeton, because he was in that Switch line, that at one point in time he actually stepped out of line and had somebody wait in line for him. I don't know if that's true or not.
I wouldn't do that for nobody. You couldn't pay me enough to do that for somebody.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was the hottest friggin' big booty, big
I do believe C&D
stayed
stayed there the entire time, because he was sleeping in winter coats. He was there.
Put it this way. If my favorite porn star or should say one of my favorites, offered to give me friggin' head to stand in line for her kid. And I've been standing there for hours and hours and almost a day or whatever, still probably wouldn't do it. And believe me, that's asking a lot. But, you know.
So I'm coming down to 2 questions here, and after this, you could ask me any question, because I'm open like that. This next question is a little bit more sensitive. I was told by Snowflake and a few others that during the time that you were being banned from Twin Galaxies, they actually gave you admin and you saw stuff that was private information to the point where Jace even threatened to sue you for. Is that true?
It is very true. Jace is a pussy. The bottom line is he can't sue me, but what he can do is he can give me a headache. If he really wanted to, because of his money and whatever he did to get to, in Hollywood, or how he got his position, which he knows nothing about what he does, how he got there makes no sense. But he could make a headache with legal and basically start a court date. It doesn't mean it would go through, and he can't really sue me, but he can give a headache. And it would cost me time and everything else. The case would get thrown out because what happened is just like walking into a fucking store with an unlocked case. It's not breaking into a house. It's not walking into a house.
Yeah, he was the one who gave you that information, though. But it was more like a cease and desist to not say anything, to silence you.
Yeah, well, he's an asshole because here's the thing. What I saw was just like walking into a store. He's trying to say it was like walking into a house with the door unlocked. And here's the truth. If you leave your fucking door unlocked and somebody walks in your house, it's your own fucking fault.
Yeah.
Yes, you are a criminal for doing it, but the cops would laugh and be like, well, why are you a fucking idiot to leave your house unlocked?
Yeah.
We're talking about papers here. He tried to compare it to Edward Snowden. I called my fucking lawyer, I swear to God, no joke, called my lawyer. He was like, so fucking dumb, and that's his voice. He's like, so fucking dumb. He goes, he's trying to compare you to a fucking government leakage over fucking video game scores. He goes, it's like walking into a fucking store and seeing something that you weren't supposed to see. It's a fucking newspaper that was left on the fucking ground. Tell him to shut the fuck up, and then he told me to go to sleep because it was like 1 a.m.
It's like walking into a strip club and not expecting to see strippers.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Jace knows nothing about law.
I was more curious. The reason why I asked that question is not to ask specific information, though, but like, were you able to see as an admin, I guess at that time, an admin control panel or user data, or was anything shown to you, or was everything?
I'll tell you this. I saw everything. I saw private messages from Patrick Scott Patterson to his wife. I saw private messages with him and his wife talking about self-entering scores. I saw it with Tom Duncan and Troy Whalen. I also got private messages that were given to me from somebody from England that saw them when he destroyed the website years ago and called it Up Yours for a while. I seen it all. I saw that Patrick was caught cheating. I saw that Rodrigo Lopez was caught cheating. All this shit was there. Jace knew it, and what did Jace say? Nobody did anything wrong. It was science. It was because of management and science. There was the reason these things happened. What's wrong with that guy? Can that guy do no wrong? He's basically Patrick with a little bit of cash.
Yeah.
He can never do wrong. He knows everything. Everything is right that he says. He never admits faults. It's disgusting.
Did you happen to see like an admin board or anything in particular?
Oh yeah, I saw stuff being told about me and stuff. Dude, I'm telling you, thousands and thousands and thousands. Everything was about me. And it happened from everybody, even people that I talk to nowadays that are friends with me. I mean, former referees, But Patrick, of course, could never get enough of talking about me behind the scenes. I'm telling you, hundreds, if not close to 1,000 messages regarding me and, in fear of me doing YouTube videos, exposing them for what they are.
Because the way I look at this is like, you're just an NES player that wanted to make some high scores on some database, and here you are, you're getting trolled by a bunch of referees on this company that's supposed to be a video game record company, like, supported by Guinness.
They didn't like that I was as good as I was,
and they didn't like the fact that you didn't want to be a fake face, I guess?
No, and I wouldn't. Dude, I'm telling you how many times I went to events like, oh, behave, be nice. I'm like, fuck you. I'm here to fucking represent myself since you guys, all you do is represent Todd, Billy, and people that suck your dick. That's basically what I told them all the time. I said, I've had enough of this. You know, one time I told Walter, I told him he was a scumbag, and that's what I've said before, and I say it right here on your stream. When he's gone, and I don't mean just out of the scene, when he is passed on, the world will be a better place. He destroyed gaming. He's an evil fucking human being. He allowed people to manipulate him, and he manipulated other people, and he promoted bad people all his life instead of doing right for the people that actually did the best for those websites. I was a big time contributor to that website with great scores. Other people were fakes and set up to just go after my scores or fake people or whatever. You know, I don't care about being beat, Maris. I care about being cheated illegally and, you know, people seeing my stuff back in the day before I could even see theirs, or allowing them to do a different tactic to beat my score and not allowing me to do the same. Shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I did my Harleus run of Ocarina of Time where I beat the game without any heart containers. I would use a Game Shark, take my hearts away, and play like it's Dark Souls. And then I'm like, I'm the first person to ever do this. Can I find somebody else? I find my friend, and after 70 times dying, he manages to do it after a good week and a few rage quits, but he did it. And I'm like, I'm proud. I'm like, okay, somebody else beat it. Good. I don't want to be the only one.
Exactly.
It's like, if we have everybody, or just a few people out there that are doing the near impossible, then why not promote them?
Yeah. The only thing, exactly, well, that wasn't the way it was supposed to be. Only a certain amount of people got fucking promoted, and that's why I went off on TG and did everything I did over the years, and I'm sorry I didn't do more damage. But I will tell you this, that it's funny that Dadasuck gets banned from one fucking lousy thread, but still doesn't get banned from TG for all the other shit he did.
Alright, now, this is actually my last question, because I don't want to make too many questions or even mention Square, because I already don't like him after threatening my life with, you know, swatting, and the 4 dox attempts that I've gotten over Twitter. I don't know if they're from him. I'm not going to accuse him of that, but who else wants to go after me? You know, I know.
Nobody's going after you.
I know, but, like, at the same time...
The guy can't even afford to live, but anyways...
Yeah,
I understand.
As you said in one of your own videos about Isaiah, aka Square Jones, that you knew he was a cheater since you met him at FunSpot. Do you think my video, as well as the evidence that has surfaced regarding paying a referee, threatening my life, filing a false DMCA, and inputting false, heavily leached information in the database, if you had to name a point in time, if you had the ability to ban him from TG, when do you think you would have done it and why?
Well, I would have done it right after the FunSpot tournament because he threatened, and I hate the guy, by the way. I'm not friends with him, and I think he's a piece of shit, but it was wrong what he did to this person, and that's Andrew Gardigas, because he's a self-centered piece of garbage. But anyways, it was wrong at the time because Gardigas was a child, and he fucking threatened a goddamn child, and it was disgusting.
What? He threatened a child?
Yeah, over a video game record. Accused him of cheating and threatened him and threatened him over in got up in his face and everything.
See, this is funny. He was promoting kids in his defense when I called him out with that evidence with Princeton. He's like, "Oh, I was warning the kids to stay away from him. That was my reason for accusing him of being a pedophile." And then now he wants to. Jesus Christ! Like every time I think I'm done uncovering something about this guy, something new comes to my attention. And I know for a fact that you were at FunSpot. You were one of these people that he has met.
Yep.
And
I went there. I met him and his whole fucking clan, and I didn't like any of them, but I tried to be nice to them.
Was that the time where it was Mewtwo King in that circle?
What's that?
Was Mewtwo M2K Jason Zimmerman?
I'm not 100% sure on that one. I can't.
White guy with glasses.
Sure. Probably, but I don't remember for sure. I know all the other ones, though, were there, and I met them. You know, they were just trolling Walter and trying to follow around anybody they could to get to cameras and everything else. And that's what I always hated about people like Richie Knuckles and Walter and Billy and Todd.
They would jump in front of cameras and they would try to compete.
Yeah, it was only about them and their publicity. It was never about me or anybody else, and I got sick of that. And that was the thing, you know. And then, you know, it didn't matter what scores I got or what I did. I always got bashed about what I did. It was always either it had to be a baby game or an unpopular game. But idiots don't look into the facts that I've held or hold a popular score on like 6 or 7 different systems. So, like, whatever.
Yeah. So that's all my questions. If you have any questions you want to ask me, go ahead and shoot them.
Well, I mean, I'll just say this before I even ask a question. Yeah, your video was very informative. It even pointed out more than I knew about the game, you know, as far as Contra 3 goes. I actually thought it was possible to do it without cheating and get that perfect score. I didn't think Isaiah could do it, but I figured a great gamer could do it, and you proved that you would have to massively leech to get
You would have to leech for 17 and a half minutes on the normal mode final boss, and then even the hard mode, so it would still go over 30 minutes, bare minimum.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't leech for 17 fucking minutes in a game unless you can't do it forever. Like, say for instance, when you go to stage 6 in Splatterhouse, and I'm you know, it's point pressing. Reason being because 2 things: the orbs come out, or you get cluster fucked. You don't get that in the Contra once you figure out how to do it. You guys demonstrated that there's a way you could do it forever if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you can't do that in Splatterhouse, and you can't do that in a lot of other games that have point pressed. It can't be done forever. So, questions I have for you. I mean, what made you decide to get involved with all this shit that's going on?
Well, here's the thing. This is a real funny story. I watched Apollo's video back in February, and I was keeping up with it. And I was keeping silent, and I was waiting for things to be uncovered a little bit more so I could understand it, because when I was young, I looked up to Billy. I'm like, okay, he's this cool guy. I've read in gamer magazines, you know. I'm in my mid-20s, you know. But this was back in the day. I was probably a preteen, if anything. Like, I wasn't big or anything. I was just playing NES games in my own house when I was probably, like, 19. And then I switched over. So then I was like, okay, let me make one video about him, like, near the end of all this stuff when he's already exposed, just to see if I can find anything else. And during SFGE, he mentions a laptop about being thrown out and that had his record on it. I found that exact laptop in the big, what was it? No, it wasn't Big Bang. It was in the tape. In the board swap tape. It was in the background right next to the cabinet. And I'm the only one that was able to point it out.
I understand, and that's really smart that you saw that, but I'll tell you this. All he does is lie about everything.
Yeah.
I've known every single thing about Todd because me and Todd were good friends, and I love him like a brother, and but, you know, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. But after I made that video, I went around searching about, and then I came across Princeton's video. And at the time, I didn't really know much about him. So here I am, I messaged him, hey, you should take a look at my video. I found something that is quite interesting about the laptop being right next to the cabinet. I mean, don't you think this could have been used to emulate the cabinet or something like that? And so he looked at it, and we basically collaborated. And he told me a whole bunch of stuff about, you know, Todd Rogers, and it led from Todd Rogers being Empire Arcadia to Isaiah, and that's when I started getting into more detail, and that's when I made that video. And the primary reason I made it at first was to clear Princeton's name, because what he was telling me was true. I believed it, because any question I asked him, he immediately provided evidence just like that. Whereas when I went to Isaiah's stream, it was, fuck you, get out of my stream.
Exactly. Well, here's the difference with me. If anybody ever wants to see me do something, especially if it's something that's really big and it's going to take me work to do it, at the right place at the right price, I would do it in a heartbeat. I have nothing to hide. And I'll do it live. I'll do it on tape. I'll fucking do it cursing at you if you ask me to do it. You know what I mean? I'm not, you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm not these assholes. These assholes don't do nothing. All they say is, I did it. Fuck you. I don't care. Me? I say, fuck you. I did it. I don't care. And I'll still prove it if I have to. I don't always want to because it's work. But the thing is, if I have to do it, I'll do it. You know?
I believe you. Because what idiot would make a world record and not keep a fucking record of it?
Right, right. And honestly, there's a record of everything I've ever done. Nothing recorded. The only things that I don't have, like I said, are stuff from
and it's really laughable that
ago.
the three people, Isaiah, Todd, and Billy, all these times that they have ever had a tape, if they did have one, it was always highly questionable. And when you look back at all these other gamers, they've always kept backups of their fucking tapes.
Yeah,
Of
and I
their
have them too
records.
somewhere.
Yeah, so out of everybody else, except those three, why didn't those three magically keep any of their records?
Well, not just those three. What about Patrick, remember?
Yeah.
And then you found out later, oh, I did it for myself. Yeah, you did the biggest fucking score at the time for Twin Galaxies in your home without fucking recording it and did it for yourself. You fucking 350-pound wing-eating lion sack of shit. And he is 350 pounds. I love how he says, I've never been 300. Dude, I was 216 and I lost 30 fucking 5 pounds. I'm 182 now, actually. Okay? I was 216. You're telling me he was only 270? He's 6 fucking foot 4. Look at his neck. Look at his fucking belly. Look at his body. Look at his face. If you can't see 350, are you fucking kidding me? Point being, I was 216 at my highest and I'm 5'10". Imagine me 270 at 6'4". I would look the same as 216 at 5'10".
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bigger, but not as big as Patrick. Look at him.
I mean,
Even
I don't try to point fat shame. I mean, Tipster has got some weight to him. I have some weight to myself. I'll admit this now. I'm 200 pounds. I have stretch marks. I shouldn't have them. I drink soda too much.
I don't make fun of everybody that's fucking fat or heavy, and I have no ill towards people that are overweight unless they're assholes to me.
Yeah.
This guy lies. He scams people. He's cheated people. He's fucked people over. He's fucked me over. He gets everything he deserves.
See, the thing that I do in my interviews, I don't do them like most people. I let people say any amount of thing that they want. And let them be as honest as they want to be.
Well, I'll just tell you this.
You go to any other interview, they won't do that.
No, you're right. You've been perfect. I appreciate it, man. I got out of this because I was hurt. And I'm not Patrick, I'm not Isaiah, I'm not Todd, I'm not Billy. I'm not doing this to get publicity. I'm straight up. I don't give a fuck if anybody likes what I have to say or not, or even supports me. I'll just say this. It really fucking hurt me what happened to me and others, that I see all these people cheating and fucking the whole system over and fucking the whole scene. You know, when I came into the scene as just a hobby, as far as I've always been gaming all my life, but when I came into the scene as a hobby, before the King of Con bullshit, even before Twin Galaxies, and went to my first gaming expo out in Las Vegas, okay? The scene was not like it was now. When that King of Kong shit came out, all these fucking loser, low-life, fat, smelly, nasty fuckers came into the scene and destroyed it. All they wanted was, I want to be in the movie. I want to be on a poster. I want to be in a Hall of Fame. I'll do whatever it takes to get it. I'll cheat people. I'll fuck people over. I'll lie. And that's the truth, dude. And then all those expos started to get worse and worse and worse. There was more controversy, more fighting, more people wanting the camera over somebody else. It became fucking Hollywood in video gaming, Washington politics in video gaming.
I feel like the biggest problem was they had cameras that were being specific for a broadcasting purpose of a movie or a video or something at these arcades, and it should have not been there, period.
Exactly. And it fucked everybody. And the worst part about it is, bro, the worst part is a lot of us, like myself, had so much passion and really cared about these scores and wanted to be the best in the world and hoped that we get paid and publicity and books and everything else. And we all got fucked because Walter and his scumbag cult promoted only a certain amount of people and fucked everybody else in the end. So I retired, and I feel good that I retired. I don't miss this fucking bullshit anymore.
Because you have things that you can now do, and you can make money living happy and doing what you like to do at home, which is just play video games.
Well, yeah, that, and you know, now I don't have the pressure anymore of wondering if I get cheated or be fucking treated like shit or not get proper publicity. And you know what? All I have to do is turn that game system on and have the memories of all the things I did. I listen to old school music, you know, and I go back in time and I remember, and it's tears and tears of joy at times. Sometimes I get really sad because, like I said, what could have been, it could have been really big.
Because I could understand, you might have had a record taken down or something, and then you're playing that game back and you're listening to one good track and you're just sad suddenly because your record's gone for some bogus reason, or maybe that they took it down fraudulently without
Yeah,
enough evidence.
or even a time when I got a record back. Just going back to those days where your fucking satisfaction, you're celebrating. I mean, dude, there's moments I could tell you, these are things that you can't make up. There's moments where I said boldly, like Muhammad Ali, I said I will do this tonight, or I will do this by Halloween, or whatever. And 99% of the time, I backed them up. Those are the best moments of my gaming career. Those are the highlights because those are things that people don't do. People don't come out and say, I'm going to do this. Mind you, there was things that I did that I shouldn't have been able to do, and there's records and times and moments and dates of things that can never be taken away and nor can be taken back. So, and people don't get that. People just took it as, well, it's just fun or it's just drama. No, there was a lot of passion and a lot of integrity and a lot of practice and fighting to become champion on a lot of these things. But then it got no longer fun, Maris. It became fucking job with no compensation, no respect.
And hiding on disputes and having to fight through people and say, hey, look, this is my defense.
And because I wasn't liked enough, because I wasn't the dick sucker, basically if I got a great record, it was overlooked as opposed to some asshole getting some garbage score on Donkey Kong. No offense, Donkey Kong is fucking ridiculous. Yes, it's a great game, it's hard, whatever, but it's outplayed. You keep fucking, promoting the same bullshit over and over again. If they would have did it with Splatterhouse,
it'd be nice if they promoted a different game other than Donkey Kong all the time. I'm tired of really actually hearing about that.
We could have had a nice thing with Splatterhouse. We could have had hundreds of people involved, fucking playoff, and it wouldn't even have mattered if I would have won the fucking tournament. It was just about doing something different. Maybe like a Halloween off or something,
Honestly, the only way Twin Galaxies is probably going to land back on the map is if they, co-join with Speedrun. Speedrun.com.
Yeah, and I'll be first to admit it takes a special person to do speedruns. There's certain things I can do, but some of those games, even though I'm great at some of them, I mean, they get crazy.
Combine the speedrun community with the, a point community.
Yeah, well...
Because you think about it, they're really dedicated over there. Their admin team is on top of everything. They check splices, they check every tape.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
They are good.
Whereas we can't even see a tape on Twin Galaxies.
No, I know. It's all bullshit, dude. I mean, the whole thing is bullshit. And like I said, that's why I got out of this. I got tired of being misled and being lied to. Yeah. Enough was enough.
Do you have any further questions for me, or do you want to end this statement to say something to anybody in particular?
I mean, the thing is, I want to remind everybody in the gaming community, love or hate, in Twin Galaxies, you lost a vital asset to your organization. You lost a vital asset to all of gaming, because my controversy brought traffic to your site. My good work brought, traffic to your site. My bold claims and my name in general brought bold traffic to your site and to gaming. These people now that are, daily buzzer gamers are not bringing traffic. Nothing is going on great with TG. There's nothing expanding. They can lie all they want and say we've got hundreds of pages of scores. Yeah, from 3 fucking people. Matthew Felix, a good friend of mine, Starcris. Okay, he's one of those fucking 3-4 people. Yeah, sorry, I don't pronounce it right.
Yeah, he's in the server too. He's been talking to me a lot.
Yeah, good guy. Great gamer too. But point being, he's one of the 4 people that are actually even contributing and considering leaving, because he's had it with the bullshit too. And he should. He's young. He's energetic. He should be concentrating on better things.
These people career or something.
Well, it's just destroyed, bro. It's no longer fun. Honestly, if they let me back in, which I can care less if they do or not, they all go fuck themselves. I mean, if they're going to let me back in, they're going to do it my way, the right way. It's not going to be on their watch where I do what they say and bend over and suck dicks. It ain't happening. You do what's right. You do what's equal. It's going to be
doing what's right. You put your records in. No fighting. Yep. Here's my videotape. You have a question about it. Ask me about it before disputing. That's another thing. I don't feel like somebody could just openly dispute a thing immediately without a decent chunk of evidence to point against it.
But they are. Everything is going against me right now with Splatterhouse. I'm not. But Dad suck, just trying to make up lies. Oh, his cameras. These are the same people that approve the scores. It's all a game, and it's dumb.
Now,
I'll say it again.
out of
And
curiosity,
use
what were you trying to interview RTM about?
Oh, a little bit of everything. Once it's done on Friday, you'll get to see it. We're gonna work it again on Friday and do it right, and it'll be up, and it should be up that night. And it's gonna be a little bit of everything: history, current history, past history, and a little bit about everybody involved.
Because I would love to be able to speak to him after
Yeah.
listening to Tipster and trying to listen to him through you. That would be kind of hilarious to see if you could get him to say a few things about Square Johns or Billy or Todd.
We are going to, but we're gonna keep it just like, I mean, it's gonna be even more professional than I was with you because you were more open on like. But in order for me to get my point across on something I'm gonna do with RTM, I gotta do it more politically.
Yeah.
Even though I don't want to. Even though I don't want to, it's kind of something I have to do.
No, I agree because he is a
Right now,
previous ref.
this is fun and games, and this is for you and your base, and something that you can have you and everybody laugh on, enjoy listening to it. I got to do a little entertaining because if I'm just like, well, the schematics of this and that, it's not funny. Like when you guys did your video, it was fucking funny because even though you guys were kind of political, you said like curse words at the right time, and it was fucking funny. And then you
I
brought
said
up
curse
the
words
words
and memes, and you fucking name it.
and
That's
science
my
and
thing.
science and science. The way you said fucking science, you said, well, if you can't fucking back it up with fucking science, and the fucking science is, the way you said it, you were just like, it was fucking hilarious. That's why
Yeah, and
love
I
your
quoted
videos.
my supposed brother. This is another thing. I am actually kind of in cahoots with Team Abolition. If you don't know who they are, they're a group of game griefers. Let's
Uh-huh.
just say that, and they write their own hacks, and they're kind of fun to work with. But I've been compared to their leader, Storm Surge, before. Apparently, he's my older brother, as everybody says. So in my
Yeah.
comment section on my recent video, I quoted Storm Surge, and I just said, "Well, I'm just gonna take a quote directly from him," and it's literally just calling him out and trashing him really fucking hard. It's something about well, they do what they do best, and it's like throwing a temper tantrum when their fucking mother won't buy them a goddamn chocolate bar at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me,
that's what EMP's
I
like.
just want what's right. I don't, I'm not trying to get the starlight just by myself. I want everybody who does good things to have the starlight equally.
Yeah,
Sure, you want it to be all about yourself, but at the same time, I know better. It has to be about everybody equally. All I wanted was a little bit of spotlight for the things I did. And if you go through my history and you look at the records I did and you can see the videos, I did some really amazing things, regardless of what people tell you or how babyish they are. I'd like to see some people fucking duplicate or beat some of the things that I've done. Have I been beaten? Sure. Keep in mind, though, I've also not been active for quite some fucking time.
yeah. No, I
You
got you on
know,
that.
if I go and keep in mind, I could return at any time. I still could come back. And it doesn't matter if Twin Galaxies gives me a fucking score or not.
Out of
All that matters is
curiosity,
I
how many
do it.
years are you banned? Because Snow was trying to like tell me that you were banned for at one point it was like 3 months and 6 months and 2 years.
It started off as 6 months, and I told Jace, fuck you. You're not going to bad about you and Twin Galaxies. You're doing fucking unequal. So then it went to 12 months. Then he doubled it to 2 years, because he's a cocksucker. Then he doubled it to 4 years. And then he said, if Rudy's found anywhere bashing Twin Galaxies, he'll be banned for life. Like, whatever. Fuck you, dude. Like, you think I'm going to wait 4 years to come back? Like, give me a break. I'll be what am I, 39? I'll be 43 years old. You know?
Yeah,
Remember, if I return tomorrow and start breaking records, they're still records. They don't have to go in Guinness. They don't have to go to Twin Galaxies. That's the problem with these retards. They think, oh, I gotta get Twin Galaxies. No, you don't. If you follow the rules, just like so-called TG said or what's legal, you have a world record. You don't have to. You're not getting anything for it. And then these assholes want you to pay $100 for a piece of paper to wipe your ass with when they should be giving it to you for free. So just do a record and fucking put it up on YouTube. Make sure you follow the rules, and you're the world champion as far as I'm concerned.
yeah. I mean, you could do that and just send it to Guinness and say, "Hey, look, I got the world record for this. Can you send me a certificate?"
Technically, you could, but even if they don't, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
Fuck them. If I go, for instance, if I'm after my anniversary, I defend my title for 2 years, regardless of what Pap Smear's fake screenshot probably from an edited fucking what do you call it, settings on fucking Spire House, okay, from Galloping Ghost. After the 2 years is over, and if I come back and play that game again and smash the record again, it's still a world title. As long as I follow the proper rules and do everything to the T with the cameras, the settings, and show everything, it's a championship. I hold the title. It doesn't matter if somebody's in Guinness and I'm not now. It doesn't matter if somebody's on Twin Galaxies and I'm not. It means nothing. We live in a world now of technology that...
If you don't have a videotape, you shouldn't be on a record.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's going to happen to Twin Galaxies once the internet becomes outdated and they have something better like VR?
Yeah.
Like, what then? How are you going to record that? How are you going to document it?
Right. I wouldn't even want anybody to document it. You know what I look for?
What?
And I've been dreaming about this for years, and I told my own father, my family, and everybody else. We always talked about it. How cool will it be when the day comes when me and you can play Castlevania inside your bedroom and actually walk through the castles and fight the enemies and jump up and down and walk into fucking secret passages and go underwater.
Oh
and it feels like you're actually falling into the water. Like, think about it, Simon's Quest. And you fucking fall into the water and that big fucking sound goes, and you fucking hear the fucking game over sounds and everything. And you see yourself falling to the bottom of the ocean with all the fucking bloody fucking old fucking bones and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that'd
seriously.
be insane.
Yeah, unfortunately we might be too old to handle that, but...
No, there'd be too many people that are sitting around collecting money and not doing enough to contribute at the moment.
Well, the problem is, though, people that are not in good shape and don't take care of themselves could die from that shit. So it's important that us gamers continue to take nutrition and take all that stuff serious, because really when VR comes to that point, bro, even me being healthy, that can't be good for the heart. Think about falling down a big story building into a big thing
or
of
if we
water.
were gonna quote some anime from Sword Art Online with a helmet on to fry your brain.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I guarantee right now, just think, if I was to step off my bed right now and I'm in, and that fucking big bat is coming at me, and I'm healthy, my heart's been checked and everything, I'm safe, I could handle the stress, but over time, all those adrenaline jumps can't be good for somebody, let alone somebody that's not healthy,
It's like trying to play Dead Space with a VR helmet. You don't want to do it.
No, and I wouldn't do it. Just you telling me about it makes me cringe, because I can imagine how high up you feel like you are and shit. Because I've seen space games with where you put the...
Well, no, with Dead Space, it's a jump scare alien game in the dark, so it's even worse.
Well, I'm thinking about, like, remember that jump that fucking Psycho did? The one he did all the way from the top of the fucking space, like by the moon and shit and the sun? He was all the way at the top, as far like 24,000 feet or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now picture that virtual reality with those goggles on and doing that same jump. You will feel it. It'll just be different, but you'll feel it.
Oh my god.
I've done shit like that before. I've sat in place and put a helmet over my head, and I could feel the free-for-all feeling, because psychologically your body feels it. It really feels like you're falling down into a fucking pit. I mean, seriously. How are you going to play Pitfall 2 on virtual reality at 50 years old with a bad heart when you fall down one of those fucking vines, all the way to the bottom to the gold, thousands of feet down, because in the game that's like technically he's like, what, thousands of feet off the ground, like when he's all the way at the top and then you fall through that ledge and you go all the way down 27 levels.
Yeah, technology is just going to keep developing, but let's wrap it up for this interview because it's actually hitting an hour.
That's fine.
Actually, it just went over an hour.
Cool.
I don't want to run this like tipsters interview with RTM where it went on to almost 2 hours.
I understand.
I mean, it's a fun interview regardless.
No, it's cool, bro. I mean, anytime, and hopefully everybody sees my current message on your chat here and they start talking. I can't see two people, but that's okay. So
do you agree that he should be banned, Isaiah, at the very least? For everything that I've contributed so far?
100%. Banned and stripped of every credential, and possibly even has to give any contributions he got back for shit he never did with Nintendo and everything else. But I don't know if that'll happen, but it would be nice. Because
he was also attacking Data God off TG. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't, but that God's irrelevant, bro. Straight up.
I know.
He's not a gamer, man. He's not nobody.
I got you. But regardless, he's probably going to get banned, as everybody's been saying. But I think it was Snowflake that said that the record isn't really liable for a ban, just more of a strip. But I'm just like, what about all this other stuff that he's done that's coming to light? Shouldn't he be banned for this stuff? And I would agree. With everything that he's tried to do to silence me. I mean, yeah, I'm brand new, I'm irrelevant, you know, I'm out of nowhere. But to go as far as to file a copyright claim that's fraudulent and show my entire legal name to the entire community and violate my privacy and break YouTube's terms of service twice is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, and I just want to make this point clear before I end this recording.
Yes.
I'm not attacking Jace or Twin Galaxies. This video was not to invade Twin Galaxies' privacy at all. This was to figure out and get the understanding for everybody else about what their policies were like in the past. From somebody who's played NES games dating back to what? How long have you been with TG?
I started with TG in 2002, 2003.
Yeah, so I figured it was probably that old. See, I wanted to know the policies for the last 15 to 17 years. And this sums it up. At least the community, the policy, what's been wrong with it, what's corrupt, and what needs to change.
Yeah, and keep in mind, we didn't touch base on every single thing we possibly could. We just did what we, could condense in such a short time. I mean, maybe in the future or something else we'll do, or we'll do with another person or whatever it is,
Yeah. Anyway, this thunderstorm's getting bad. You haven't heard a single bolt of thunder, though, but I can actually see it outside. It's just flashes. So this interview, I'm going to end it. So thank you for talking to me, Rudy.
Yeah, thank you, too, for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem, man. You have a good one.
All right.